Hello there everyone and welcome back. We had ourselves a very promising first two matches, at least against Eldar, because for some reason it seems like my Vanguard Gladius fleet still refuses to lose when faced off against the might that is the Eldar fleets, and I could not tell you why. Maybe there's actually something there to the fleet. Maybe I am doing the right thing. Who knows? All I could tell you as far as rapidly taking down and focus firing a ship, it's probably better to have like the bombardment cannon variants of the Vanguards, because at least then, these Vanguards, the two Vanguards that I'm fielding, kind of like for my two cruiser minimum, is so that way they can actually do extra damage with their bombardment cannons, because as it stands now, I don't think it's realistic to say these torpedoes and Thunderhawks are ever going to reach their target, at least when they're in front of me. But when I'm firing the torpedoes at something that's behind me and my frigates aren't actually blocking the path, then they can actually deter at least any other ships from being able to swarm me or at least surround me, making it a little more convenient for me to surround or chase down my target. At least that's the thought process anyway. But if I were to get like the bombardment cannon, which is it, the Mark III variant, at least then they have enough firepower to actually contribute. It's just nowhere near as potent as, like, say, Strike Cruiser, mainly because it's stuck on a 90-degree arc, as opposed to 270 that the Strike Cruiser and Battle Barges have, which is kind of why I do not field them, because it's a little bit tricky to get full value of these things in a normal fight when you have to keep your ship facing towards them, which also means you're flying towards them more often than not. And unless you're really on top of your reload timing, that would be the only exception maybe. But as it stands now, I like the torpedoes because, well, I just like the torpedoes in general. They have lots of potential, especially when I have a boarding torpedo to kind of help give more versatility out of this thing. And of course, with such a long cooldown, I can safely disengage and have about a minute, maybe 30 seconds, depending if I'm using reload or not, to just get myself in a better position for another attack run. But nonetheless, let's continue on, shall we? Alright, so we're fighting off against Chaos again. Only catch, we're basically doing a 450 point battle, which, in all honesty, I didn't even realize there was a 450 point battle of assassination. From what I remember, it was 400 and then immediately got up to 500 once you reach, what is it, Admiral level 3 or is it Admiral level 4? So, all this time, I never really thought there was actually 400 point battles. But nonetheless, it is what it is, and I could get 3 strike cruisers. That's not a terrible idea. It's a damn good solid fleet, if nothing else, and it gives me an opportunity to level up my strike cruisers some. Now it just begs the question, do I seriously go with the cheap librarian, which is already level 10, or do I field the level 7s and try and get some experience with them? Because he is going to have a good amount of experience, and the big downside is these 2 strike cruisers don't have increased master gunners, so the critical hit chance is not all that impressive, but I could just use them as a shield for my chapter master while it does the lock on, if nothing else. And they still have shield transfers to be useful, so it's not too terrible at least. And I also have some Stormhawks to kind of help deter fighters a little bit. So there is potential with this fleet. It just begs the question on how many bonus points is he actually getting for this? And does he have enough cruisers to actually be able to punish me? Because again, since I don't know, since I never seen 450 points before, what kind of Admiral level would he be? This is looking like a slaughter without a doubt. Well, actually no, I'm wrong, it's not a slaughter. There would be lances in the middle of those macro batteries, so it's not a slaughter, it's more like, what is it? It's not Devastation, it's Havoc, maybe? I honestly don't remember the names of all the other cruisers. I just remember the Devastation and the Slaughter, for kind of obvious reasons, because those are the 2 cruisers I actually feel it, so it could be a Carnage for either way, but let's try and get ourselves centered as much as we can. We do know he has a cruiser, so I can effectively run him down, if nothing else. So he's not going to have the extra mobility. Oh, and I'm not quite centered anyway. I thought I was centering myself when I went left. No, I was looking at the main map upside down again, wasn't I? Either way, we still have to traverse this asteroid belt, but with my 75 armor, and if I really want to, with the brace for impact, those asteroid belts are not a concern. I just gotta be careful not to get revealed too early. And also I could do boring torpedoes, but with this in the way, this debris, it's probably not worth doing. Not right away at least. But I'll have the autocast going because, really, why not in all honesty? Let's just make sure it's deliberate and aiming at what I want. And if it can hit something, it'd be great. We will have to see. Just gotta wait for him now to deploy ships, and where on earth would he deploy? There's no cover size for the one asteroid belt in the middle. Oh, there's a little bit of debris here to kind of deter me, but like I said before, with brace for impact and the chapter master, I can fly in this asteroid belt and I would take literally no damage, I think. I'm pretty certain it counts for the brace for impact bonus as far as the damage I take. Oh. So, he's got a level 4 ship. I want to kill his engines, but I can kind of chase that already since it is in slaughter. So let's go on after it, shall we? Launch my Stormhawks just in case, and I don't really need the renown so much, so let's go straight for the killing blow, ideally. Hell, I might even just go straight through the asteroid belt, or at least leave that option available, because I don't know what his movement is just yet. But I think he's going to dodge these torpedoes, sadly. So actually, let me do a little bit of an odd turn. Let's make sure these torpedoes are aiming directly on his rear. So that way, when they turn and finally reach him, they should be directly behind him. He should not be able to dodge them very well. And generators are still prioritized, because there is that weird little thing where once they are down, it stops prioritizing a generator, even when he repairs. So let's get ready to boost in there. He is going to take a few torpedo hits, but he seems to know what he's doing. Alright, let's boost on in. Gotta be mindful of the damage, though. This could hurt still. But that hurt even more, I think it's safe to say. Let's make this quick and painless. Well, that was kind of a dumb idea too, wasn't it? Quite frankly. Oh well. Let's try and maximize my damage. Like I said, we'll try and make this quick for him. Make sure my thrusters are still up as much as I can, and keep the focus on that damn thing. Got a few torpedo hits, that's always a plus. And he is going to run out of boosters eventually, and I got 9,000 unit range to chase him down. So I'm not too worried here, I just need the shield transfer. Mitigate this damage as much as I can. Also, kill his engines, since generator is actually down. Alright, this is a pretty straightforward match. It kind of is going to go without saying a little bit. But at least he's going to have plenty of experience with his Hellbringer, right? Well, it seems like he had a whole bunch of frigates, so maybe he's not getting the experience probably could have. But still. With this super aggressive play, my one strike cruiser was already at half health, so it goes to show how fatal it can be if I don't have a guaranteed... If I'm not guaranteed to get on top of that ship, because our micro warp jump would do so much to negate that push, especially if it wasn't an assassination. He would without a doubt have a micro warp jump available by the time I could get that close, so I am going to seriously need to look into having some auger disruptors available. The only trick is with beacons being necessary to harass at range with my bombardment cannons, and the possibility of needing some Stormhawks a little bit, because bombers are a serious threat, especially with strike cruisers and Vanguards. How the hell can I squeeze in a auger disruptor, never mind two? Because I could probably easily get rid of something on my battle barge if I really wanted to, but that only gives me, what, 25 seconds of jamming? And that is almost like one bombardment cannon shot that gives me. Mind you, with lock-on, there's like 3 chances that they can quickly hit the generator, and there is a realistic chance of them actually getting the hit I want, but still, I would argue that does not seem worth it for just three bombardment cannon shots, but it is something I'm seriously going to have to consider, because a micro warp jump is a big threat at denying any of my pushes, never mind any Slanesh I have to fight against if I were to fight against a high-level Chaos fleet. Alright, so we have ourselves a bit of a mirror match here. So, on the one side, I would like to try with my Lance Battle Barge, but if he fields his own Battle Barge, it's going to take forever before I actually get through that shield to make it worthwhile. Although, it would be a good test of my Disruption Bomb, but am I really comfortable with that? And also, it's a convoy, so I need to be decisive. I can't really harass effectively, I want to argue. And I'm also Defender, which makes this a little more complicated. Nonetheless, though, I still got a solid fleet with 2 strike cruisers and a battle barge. I have the mobility from the strike cruisers if he does spread out his fleet, with the power of the battle barge if I have to force my way through a situation. So I do have that going for me. I am going to have to seriously stop leaning towards the battle barge, though, and actually start playing with the Mark II, even though it is going to be difficult to get this thing to work. I've had success with it, mind you, but for a convoy, I think it's safe to say it's too slow for the job at hand. The Vanguards would actually be decent, but only if they can hit with the torpedoes, but the Battlebarge Mark II itself, not so much. And since this is a 600-point battle, I have absolutely no way to know what his Admiral level is. The queue was pretty quick, mind you, so I could safely assume it may be an Admiral level 8, but he could still be Admiral level 7. There's like, what, about 10 seconds waiting before it starts downgrading, or at least widening the matchmaking a little bit to Admiral level 7, so I wasn't paying that much attention to the timer, mind you, so I am left with a little bit of suspense or uncertainty there, because that does change the dynamics with me fighting a 600-point fleet or a 690-point fleet, if it is even 609 points for him fighting an admiral level higher than him. Nonetheless, I like to have my convoy spread out to kind of punish him, but with his potential to just critically hit and immediately kill these things, with his armor as well as subboarding, I do need to make sure he cannot get multiple conveyors really easily. That's going to be the big trick, especially the troop values at 60, which is going to make them even more vulnerable, even more fragile if they get detected. So let's try and group these up a little bit. Have them ready to spread out. Hell, I'm just going to have these 2 ones in the middle, or side corners, have them turned and moving away. And we'll see what we can do afterwards. See what we can get done. Nonetheless, let's get started. So 6 ships. So this is something a little bit lighter. Again, bonus points are likely this case here. So get the conveyors moving, because they're more than likely, and they do have emission dissipators, so we're looking okay here. I do want to turn this conveyor around, though. And is the battle barge? The battle barge is probably going to get revealed, and the strike cruiser is as well, but not a whole lot I could do, especially when he's already so close. Battle barge might actually dodge still, and I do have beacons to kind of return the favor. Come on, conveyor. How come it? Maybe it was already revealed, but shouldn't that have said I was revealed? Well, there are Thunderhawks and all that, so we can fix this some, if only mildly. So, get my own Thunderhawks out, just to help deal with this some. And okay, the battle barge actually wasn't revealed. Okay, that's fine. And really, I just want to shoot down these Thunderhawks as much as I can, but my Thunderhawk didn't really do much of note. So go after these and kill them, and focus on all the engines, because it's like I said before. He is trying to prioritize these things some. And prioritize the engines, as I said. Kill these things off, that's going to be a lot of his points. And if possible, just deal with his hunters pretty well. So, Let's see, that's one conveyor down. Can I kill these things quickly, though? Because he's going to lose a Vanguard easily. I could deal with that, but I got my work cut out for me regardless with the high mobility he has going on. Come on, ram him good. And also, get this thing out of the way. I can't repair, but it is still going to take some hits. And of course, there's Space Marines, so there's a very minor chance I can actually deal with that. Oh, can I shield transfer? That'll help a little bit. Not much, mind you, but it'll help a little bit. And I want to try and ram these things, but I think they're on autopilot a little. So, can I kill this thing? Because he's coming for it. And this looks like his bigger fleet, too, a little bit. With 3 Vanguards, this is easily over half his points. Now, can I kill these things quickly? It's going to survive there a little bit, but okay, it's gone. So there goes a lot of his points. Get these conveyors moving. This is still anyone's game, especially with him, with his Vanguard still ramming me a bit. Okay, that's dealt with. Let's turn off the boosters because that's going to hurt me some. And he does have a strike cruiser. At least that one's a little bit slower, but my torpedoes have been horrible there. My autocast is held. Most of them just hit debris. But I still have 4 conveyors. So I can succeed with the victory condition. I can still win. And it looks like he's conceded anyway. So if those Thunderhawks reach him, there's not much he can do. Hell, even his generator's gone. I wasn't even aiming for it, so I think he's admitted defeat, so let's try and deal with his frigate some, shall we? Because that could still cause hassle. And this is his beacon too, isn't it? So... Oh. I'm still gonna win against this thing. I know I've been controlling it poorly, mainly because he kept his frigate moving because of like a engagement pattern, but I'm a little bit surprised that damn conveyor actually won that battle, even if it was a hunter, mind you. Because I figured I would need to control and actually get a ram in if I was going to actually win the day, but I'll take that constellation prize, please. I'll happily take it. And now, get your dang dang frigate going, whatever it's going to do, so we can proceed over to the next match, shall we? Although it looks like he almost forgot about some. Oh, he's going to play that game, isn't he? Okay. Alright. We could still chase him down. I got reload to help with my boosters some. And it is only a hunter for that reason too. Maybe I could kill that with this conveyor as well if I'm so lucky, huh? Wishful thinking, but it is going to die regardless. I just need to detect it. Alright, ram me. Give me a double kill on this thing. I want to get 2 kills with this conveyor. Let's make this a day to remember. This is the conveyor that refuses to die. And it's going to kill your hunter even if you are sort of committing suicide. And no, I don't want to take hits from my own torpedoes, please. That would be kind of nice. That'd be kind of nice of you if you couldn't do that. There, we got another ram in. It's going to take boarding torpedo hits in a moment. Or can I ram it again? Ah, so close. Come on, Theodore, I believe in you. Aw, it couldn't get the kill. But it did notable amount of damage, and I'm surprised it actually killed that one frigate, that one hunter from before. I was trying to ram with it, mind you, but of course my focus was elsewhere, so I couldn't be as diligent as I would have liked to ram. But somehow apparently he did get the ram regardless, so it's still a hero in my book. They're going to get accommodations all around. They're going to be conscripted into the Imperial Navy. Oh, happy day for them, huh? No, they're totally screwed. Who am I kidding? They're going to die on the first day once they get on their first Dauntless cruiser. But we almost got a level on the battle barge, almost got a level on the strike cruiser, so one more match with them and I'll swap out the favors. And then it'll be just the Vanguards, I think, as well as my Mark II. I really need to seriously put effort into leveling up. And even then, most of them are well on their way. It's just this one level 6 that needs to get a match in for its level. And hell, even this Mark II is almost level 5, and I still have yet to get upgrades on our Cardiel for extra upgrade slots, so that might help a bit there too. Well, we got ourselves a rematch with Fascist there, and it just begs the question, do I go with the Mark II or not? It seems like a bad idea in all honesty, but if I'm able to harass them and keep them in, slow them down, the Lances can eventually do some damage, but that's assuming he doesn't feel like a battle barge, mind you. And in all honesty, when is a good time to use this damn thing is what I'm wondering. It would be decent against Tau because of their lower health pool. It would be good against, well, anything that's really slow, pretty much. And even then, I would argue that the battle barge might be better in that case. So I'm going to have to bite the bullet sometime. It just begs the question of when. Because I could field it here. I don't expect it to go very well for me, but hell. It is one match away from its level 5, so I'm going to attempt it regardless. And if it could start chipping down and maybe draw fire for the Vanguards, that'd be pretty good. That's the idea. I just gotta be very mindful of those bombardment cannons, because those things can wreck my Vanguards really damn quickly if I'm not keeping a good enough distance there. And also, it's a good opportunity to try out the disruption bomb. But I don't actually have enough points to actually field anything else, so I'm kind of stuck with this unless I want to cut out a Vanguard. Which I don't think I want to do. It's definitely going to be a little more trickier than just straight up brute force. The Vanguards are supposed to harass and provide vision, which is, I do have one at least with extended sensors. I just don't have any beacons to kind of help ensure I keep vision. So I gotta make sure that the one beacon I have on the Mark II sticks on a target, especially a high value target. And if he, by chance, decides to field any kind of frigates or anything like that, then this Mark II is going to do relatively well. But I don't expect this to be in my favor too much, mainly because I'm going to be relying on hit and run tactics, and he's going to have the mobility with the strike cruisers, assuming he's fielding them to just chase me down effectively. At least chase down and get in close range with the Mark II battle barge, so I gotta make sure the Vanguards can be a thorn in his side. That's gonna be the real trick, and I might as well start practicing it, because it has been a while since I actually fielded these Vanguards in such a hit and run sense, so doing that is ideal. And hell, I do have the Master of Sanctity, and if I'm smart enough to have this positioned properly, if I have to worry about boring torpedoes or Thunderhawks, mainly boring torpedoes, I can just use the word Emperor on top of, just as the boring torpedoes are hitting any of my ships. I'll have the Master of Sanctity take the hits ideally, but I also have Stormhawks to kind of help deal with that, so maybe I'm overthinking it some. Also, let's set the attack pattern properly. We'll make use of this gas cloud, or at least get prepared to, and I could easily just jump over to the next one if I need to stay hitting with this thing, with a micro warp jump. Although I am going to be about halfway there with the micro warp jump itself, so I will need to make some turns, and with lack of extra mobility, it's going to be tricky. Okay, so 6 ships. So on the plus side, this is not, as I try and turn off this dang arc vision that's decided to stay, continue to show. We are not dealing with a battle barge, or at least 2 battle barges. We may not even be dealing with a single battle barge, potentially. Because that strikes me as a frigate there, which is kind of okay. In all honesty, oh, he does have beacons coming, so I did not hear him. I was talking too much again. But these Vanguards can be good. Yeah, they should easily be able to dodge relatively well. It's a question if the battle barge can do it. Oh, it's not even aiming at them. That's fine. And worst case, if these do get detected, then I can just easily go back into the gas cloud. I don't even need to burn a assault run. But it's going to be close. Going to be close. Do we get spotted? No, we do not get spotted. Even though I was not even paying attention, I was talking too much into a microphone. Go figure, huh? I'm not playing this game properly if I have to distract myself. But we do know what his ships are. That's fine. That's kind of okay. This is like best case situation for me. But he has a lot of weaponry. A lot of torpedoes anyway. And I can boost because he's kind of shot them himself. So I don't have to worry about boarding torpedoes at all. Now I just gotta reveal them. Reveal this and start shooting it. And wait for the boarding torpedoes. Alright, he wants this target, so let's try and punish him then. Actually, he is launching a Thunderhawk, so can I keep out of vision? Yep, we're good. Thunderhawks were wasted. And with that said, let's get out of the way, dodge all the stuff. They are boring torpedoes, though. Alright. If he wants to play that game, let's give him it. Although the prow is gone, that can be temporarily fixed soon enough. Let's just focus on the strike cruiser. Yeah, auto-cast on everything. How cute. And that actually worked for me. That, to an extent, actually worked. Now, let's start focusing on targets, shall we? All the while, try and punish his ships. Because he does have the prow bombardment can, so... Gotta make sure he doesn't get the shots, ideal shots he wants. Oh no, I'm wrong. He has torpedoes. But is there any way I can deny these? Not quite, unfortunately, but it's going to take a lot of hits. I don't think I upgrade the troops just yet. It's the Space Marines, so... Is there any... Let's just kill this thing off. Because, yeah, most of his torpedoes took hits. If I can fire on this thing, that'd be good. Ideally, I want this thing to survive, most importantly. And I will need to get it turning as well. So, brace for impact. That's active, so let's just enjoy giving him all the damage. As his generator's gone, and... Okay, brace for impact's gone, so... And I did take some torpedo hits at point blank, which ultimately is pretty good for me. Now, kill the strike cruiser. That's the big threat. That's what I would like to kill. And if possible, maybe I could kill the other one. That's all on fire and all that. That would be kind of nice. But first I need to get this out of the way. If I'm good. Although it's not cooperating very well, is it now? Okay, ram it. Ram it. Okay, engines are gone. That's kind of okay. Because I can reposition. I'm not going to be quite hitting just yet, though. Can I hit this with the dumbfire torpedoes? Not quite. Maybe I'll hit. I got 2 torpedo hits. So, this will be able to repair in like a minute or so. But we got the strike cruiser gone. If I can kill this thing off, that'd be good. Because right now... Actually, let's set the reload. Because once this thing can repair, he can't do much else. Or at least it's going to make this fully operational. Because he is really just relying on critical hits with lock-on for crying out loud. He's trying to lock on with while relying on nothing but boarding weaponry. There, strike cruiser's gone. That's the big threat. So let's correct him in his error, shall we? Because another 40 seconds, this thing will be fully operational. It is pretty limpy, I'm not going to lie. I could warp it out some, but I need to give it some more breathing room. And I'll save the disruption bomb for later, but... What can I do as far... I should focus on weaponry in all honesty. Because, yeah, here comes the actual dumbfire torpedoes. Can I dodge any of them? I took a few hits. Took some hits. Ram his own ships. I just need 10 seconds. This thing is screwed in about 10 seconds. I'm going to be heavily damaged from all these fires, though. Or pretty damn close to heavily damaged. Unload on this thing. Now, make this thing miserable. Because these lances are going to wreck it quickly. Well, these other two can go after this. It's not my proudest moment, I'm not going to lie. But after all, he has the mobile fleet, so I'm kind of at a bit of an underdog as far as hitting. But these torpedoes make up for it. Those torpedoes easily made up for it. As I was talking about it. And I got my wish. It wasn't pretty because, again, this is kind of the reason why I don't want to go against a super mobile fleet. And we kind of got the worst case situation. The only thing that could be more mobile than that would be Eldar, quite frankly. Maybe Air Cache Tau. Maybe. They are still slightly slower than the Vanguards, mind you, but with the boarding torpedoes and the lack of upgrades, I don't think I invested any any points into my Space Marines just yet, so that could have helped a lot there, but I want to argue that was probably the worst case situation for that damn thing. If I could get more practice. Did I punish him enough with the Vanguards? I don't feel like I did. I got some amazing dumbfire hits in, especially that final one at the end, but without a doubt, I need to get back or get used to controlling high micromanagement type of fleets, or at least micromanagement, ships that require high micromanagement. But it was a success nonetheless, despite it honestly feeling very risky even from the beginning, and I didn't feel comfortable with that. And hell, it is possible to upgrade the chapter relic to get even more troop value, but I think that's more later on, because I still have to upgrade Incarniel, the Master Gunner, as well as the Space Marines, which I think I will do as my final upgrade. Hard to say. I just know I got, 3 more upgrades, or 4 more upgrade slots available to me after this one, so this just begs the question, what do I put on this thing? I got so many choices, and yet it's so difficult to pick one, because Thunderhawk seems like the must. Help deal with those torpedoes a little bit better by making sure these things are available for me. Because after all, I think the cooldown's longer than torpedoes. What is it? Let me check the Vanguards quickly. Mind you, I do have an upgrade on them, so it may be reducing that some. 60 seconds, 45, so yeah. That would help a ton with the torpedoes, because I can almost time it with his boarding torpedoes. And at least that way, I can use those Thunderhawks kind of like how I mentioned before when I played Space Marines, is using them more to shoot down fighters and bombers when the actual boarding is not very practical or very useful for the engagement. So I think that will help some there.